Welcome back to the channel, guys. Hey, today we're going to talk a little bit about your brassicas plots and things. I had a lot of questions come in. They asked about, when are they going to start hitting my brassicas and things like that. And well, I can't determine where you're from, what area of the country you're in, and your temperatures and things, but some of these states might not even get cold enough for the starches and the sugars to come out with the cold weather that the brassicas need to change over and get attractive. Just talked to a guy here the other night from South Carolina, and we was talking about frost seeding and stuff, and frost seeding's kind of non-existent when you get down that below, where it's not even freezing and snowing and frosting. He says he has a couple of weeks of cold weather, but he puts brassicas in, and they don't really do anything but end up laying there till the next year and rot up, which isn't all bad for a plot, but they're not the starchy, sugary, desirable stuff that the deer are after up here in the north when everything else is gone, and they're digging up the bulbs and gnawing at them and eating whole plants at a time. Some of these southern states, I guess they don't get that action sometimes. They just get the tops all browsed off. The green tops just get eaten. So something else to think about. But there's some factors that go into when they will eat this stuff or when they will really start hammering on it. I'm going to turn the camera around here real quick and show you that right here in my plots, sorry about that, there's plenty of them left, and they're really starting to get on them. As you can see, we had some snow lately. There's some really good ones left. There's some tops and things. I mean, they're all over the place, and that's an attribute to doing things right and having the stuff planted at the correct time. So let's talk about some of the factors. You may have incorporated the brassicas into your plots and maybe have never planted them before, and they are not real sure what they are yet. But deer are curious. I think eventually they would get hit. Another thing would be the time of year that you planted them. If you planted them too early in the summer, they matured too early. They're hard and stemmy, and they're not really palatable for them. And then, if your nutrition value of your soil and things isn't, your fertilization and things aren't where it needs to be, they're probably just not going to be all that of a crave for them. Now, another thing you could think about is the amount of pressure that's put on these deer come the supposed October lull that everybody talks about. There's so much pressure put on them. Yeah, they're not coming to the plot because they don't have to go far to get anything to eat when there's woods full of acorns and things, and natural browse. Everything's green at that point in time of the year. And now, as you can see behind me, everything's brown, and actually I've got a bunch of young regenerated trees, but behind that that was all timbered for the good wood, and what's left is a bunch of pine. So there's not a whole lot of good browse in there. So this is a preferred area for them to come. So my plots get hammered, and of course I have winter wheat and things in there for fresh spring green up. But any more questions about that, drop a question or comment below. Let me know what you're thinking. See you on the next one.